Hello, speak and pause. Do you hear a replay? Hello, Steffi.
Oh,
Can
good
you hear
evening,
me? Yeah.
Susanna.
Good day, Steffi.
How are you?
I'm
How's the
good.
typhoon going?
Again, how's
How's the
the
typhoon
typhoon
going?
here?
You think,
It didn't
yeah.
it didn't come here. I think it's
Oh,
in another region, not really
yeah.
here. Yeah.
Now
I
it's in
think
Taiwan. It's very close
ah,
Taiwan now.
in your place in
Yeah,
Taiwan.
it's in east of Taiwan. I'm not in Taiwan, but now the typhoon east of Taiwan. Yeah.
Mm, it I actually didn't experience it here, but maybe in other regions, but it didn't stay long. The typhoon didn't stay
Yeah.
long. Hi, Chloe. Good day, Chloe.
Today.
It didn't it didn't come in my region. Except that one day that I told you we really had a very terrible connection because it was raining heavily. After that, no more. It didn't rain at all. It was just windy and hot. So I think that typhoon, it might
Mm-hmm.
be strong going to Taiwan and other countries. But here it's not that strong. So I think that kind is just okay here, but hope we usually expect more typhoons within from May onwards. May, June, July,
Yeah.
May, maybe May to September. We usually expect typhoons.
That
As in,
long?
yes. And I forgot the international name of that typhoon. What is that? Anyway, in Philippines, we to track the number of typhoons that arrive in our country, we name the typhoons alphabetically. So if the name is like for example, the name is Janet, then it means for this year that's the 10th typhoon that we have.
Oh,
So it depends on the name.
we don't know that how our name come from.
And usually typhoons have like their own international name, right? But when they
Mm-hmm.
enter Philippines, we give another name.
Okay,
And then if
interesting.
and one thing very interesting also that I discovered just few years ago, I didn't know. I found out that if the typhoon was really very violent, very devastating, a lot of people died, a lot of structures were damaged and destroyed, our government will remove the name in the list, and we will never use that name again. This
It's
is,
like a traditional way to like avoid the
yeah, I
strong
think
typhoon.
so. I think so, or maybe just as to not remind everyone about the event. Because the one of the strongest we had was Ondoy. That was 3 days typhoon. But if you would see, it wasn't windy at all. But it didn't stop raining for 3 days, morning, afternoon to evening, nonstop.
So like
It
floating everywhere.
yes, everywhere. And I couldn't go home. I had to stay like 8 hours and more, but the classes were suspended, but I couldn't go home because there's nothing to ride. And I even if I rode something, I couldn't go back home because the roads were flooded. So yeah, and the last I forgot the other name. The recent one we had, they removed that name in the list because one one town in that countryside was removed, as in damaged. A lot of people died. Many people died. So the government decided remove.
What's up?
I, I forgot the name, but I think other countries also were aware of that when it happened to Philippines. So other countries came to Philippines for help. They brought their medical team here. What else? They gave food and rescue to those people there. It was very devastating for those people in that town. The town almost got erased in the map. That's how big the typhoon was. So right now I haven't seen the name of the typhoon. So maybe that might be like fourth or fifth, maybe, for this year. So it's either letter D or letter E. I'm not sure. I haven't seen actually. Yeah, that's a fact in the Philippines. So if ever you happen to come here or see that in the news, Philippine name of the typhoon, you better think, oh, it's the 10th or the 12th, depending on the letter of the name. Hi, Bayu. Good day, Bayu.
Good day, Miss. How are you?
Okay, I'm good. We were just talking about some trivias about Philippine typhoons.
All right.
So anyway, for today, we are only going to have speaking and you're free talking.
Yep.
And let's have some more practice and review for grammar using your words when you were speaking. That's what we're going to check this time. Okay? So again, to remind you, our topic again is still under healthcare. Okay? Everything is still under healthcare. I think the whole week is about healthcare. So,
Is it
so
the last week we did essay writing? The topic is about last week we did essay writing, right?
Yes. And speaking is also still about health. So you're listening, you're speaking, you're reading, they're all about health for this entire week. So I think until week 5 will be next week. So next week it might be your examination. It will be your examination week again. So, but I don't know exactly what else will they give for the test. So, but I think similar about the healthcare. Do you have any questions with the topics you had for for reading, listening, and writing for the past 3 weeks? Do you have any questions there?
Tijana,
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask about the new group in WhatsApp. What's that for?
New group in? But
WhatsApp.
I actually haven't seen.
Miss Stalin create a new group called Gold Online 426.
Gold class? You mean?
Gold?
Yeah.
Gold? Yeah. I actually haven't. I don't know. That's your new.
Because Miss.
The WhatsApp.
Yeah, in the WhatsApp, Miss Sterling.
Yeah, what's that for?
In our group in WhatsApp, that is red 6 to 8. That's our group.
But she created another group, Go Online.
Yeah.
What's that for?
The one she created, I don't know actually why I saw gold and I saw your name there. So I am not sure. Actually,
okay.
I thought you have a class with her in gold. So I didn't mind because I saw red 6 to 8. So that's that's ours. But the gold one, I don't know exactly.
What's
I really thought
you know?
I don't know.
But you are in the group as well.
Yeah.
I am always in, even in Miss Jody's class, even in other accounts, I'm in the group because we're teachers.
Yeah, because my class is, I think it's only blue class 4 to 6 and red 6 to 8. But I don't know what happened with Sterling, like
why there's gold, right? Honestly,
yeah.
I think there's one teacher who couldn't contact the students well. So Miss Sterling decided to create groups. I actually did not request for groups, but it's okay because she made one. Yeah. But the group she made for us, because she knows I'm only handling red, right? Red and Jody. Right? Your group Bayu, right?
Yeah,
Blue and green. So I'm handling the Bayu's classes in Monday, and also I'm handling red class only. I don't have any information about the gold one, so I really thought you have another class in gold.
Yeah.
So I didn't touch the gold one.
You need to do the gold class as well, Bayu?
I'm not sure. I am actually.
You need to do a gold class as well?
Bayu doesn't have gold. Do you have gold,
I don't
Bayu?
have gold.
You
I
don't
don't
have gold. He
actually
doesn't
my
have gold.
class
No,
just blue and red.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Blue-
what happened.
If he
I
joined the
think
Go one, he has
No, don't
6 hours per day.
So,
no, I
okay.
see
Maybe she just
Bayu's
made a
name in the
mistake.
call. Oh, okay.
Maybe, maybe
I
Krisa's
think
not
because
in
just
there.
support group or something.
it's just a support group, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
However,
okay.
focus on, in the WhatsApp, focus on our class, the red
Okay.
6 to 8. That's the new account.
Okay.
Don't enter gold, please. You, I have no idea with the gold because I don't really open other colors, other classes, not unless they gave me a class for that. So I only
Alright.
open Jody. Jody has the green classes, but inside is blue. Bayou and there's another
Step.
color. In
Yeah.
my Moodle, Jody's class is green. But if I enter, there's color blue and there's color orange section.
Yeah.
So so the others cannot open the Jody's class because in their Moodle, there's no Jody's class, just their color. So I have to open the files for them in the class. So, okay, maybe I have to make it clear how did they get that group. But generally, it is just for support. So if students have questions. So anyway, in our case, because we always put in red intake, so I have all the files, all your files with me. And I send them in my own, I have my own folders for you. So it won't get lost. So just don't open the gold if you are not put there. Okay? They might think you're part of that and list your name in the gold. And you cannot enter the other
Yeah.
color. The
Me
other
too. I
class.
don't know. I don't know what's going
Don't
on
click.
because the teacher didn't
I
say
don't know.
nothing.
I don't know too. I'm just curious what happened.
I have no.
Yeah.
Because if I made that, I will inform all of you. Because you will see me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't make groups, actually.
That's
Yes,
Did you
alright.
I
see a
saw.
message you write? You write it, right?
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
You write a message. You write a
Who?
message.
In red?
You say thank you, Miss Nadine,
Because
for updating the Thursday group.
yeah, because she made the red 6 to 8.
Oh,
But the
okay.
gold, I wasn't the one who requested for a group. It wasn't me. There's another teacher who requested for a group because their students do not have a group support group. Red intake 3 is our support group, right? That's where you send everything. But the other students, they don't have. So maybe their
Okay.
teacher requested for the group. And Mr. Ling created group for everyone. So maybe that was... Oh, damn! Nice hairstyle. Kidding. Kidding,
Hi,
Tam.
teacher.
Okay. Good day, Tam. So anyway, for today, we are just going to have our speaking. And we will practice speaking 1, 2, and 3. Can I spend few minutes with Tam? Tam, do you know speaking 1, 2, and 3
Hang on, can I try?
in IELTS? Do you know how to do speaking 1, 2, and 3? Because she didn't have yet how to do speaking 1, 2, and 3.
I don't know.
Ah, okay. Because your other classmates already had the practice and a test for speaking, IELTS speaking. Speaking 1, 2, and 3. They had before. But because you're new in the class, you didn't have yet any speaking 1, 2, and 3. But next week will be examination week. So you have to learn how to do the speaking because
Okay.
that's speaking 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, teacher.
So
Yeah.
speaking, let me just,
And
for Chloe, Steffi, and Bayu. Okay, hold on. Tam, speaking 1 is more on personal questions like about your details, your name, your birthday, do you
yeah.
work or do you study? What else?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Something about your neighborhood or something about your favorite fashion. Just some details
Yeah.
about you. Very
Yeah.
basic questions.
Yes.
And then as you go to speaking number two this time is there is a topic to be given to you. Maybe
Yeah.
they will ask you to describe your favorite food, or they want you to talk about your funniest moments when you were young.
Oh,
That's
okay.
speaking to is a little bit more detailed about
Oh,
your experiences.
mm-hmm.
Okay, that's about your experiences. And then speaking three is somehow in continuing speaking two. In speaking two, you are given like uh they will give you the cue card. They call it the cue card. That's the question. They will give that to you, and then you will have 1 minute to prepare
Oh,
the answer.
okay.
You have
Okay.
1 minute to prepare.
Uh-huh.
And then they will give you a paper or a pen and a pen so you
Yeah.
can write your ideas. That's up to
Yeah.
you. Just
Yeah.
prepare for 1 minute.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then after 1 minute, you start speaking your answer.
Okay. Yes,
Okay?
teacher. Yeah.
When you speak for speaking to, it's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You have to answer, you have to speak for 2 minutes. Okay? That's speaking
Yeah.
to. And then for speaking three questions are related to speaking to. So if, for example, in speaking to, you talk about your, let's say, the funniest moments you have in your childhood. And then speaking three would be questions would be a little bit deeper than speaking to. For example, they will ask you, how important is childhood? How important is having a good childhood in the life of a person? They will relate that to the community. They will relate it to the culture. They will relate it to science. So it becomes broader and more serious. That's
Okay.
speaking three. Okay, so again, speaking one is just basic questions they would ask you. Speaking two, you have 1 minute to prepare. They'll give you the cue card. Topics would be about your experiences or what else? Your opinion can be. And then you have 2 minutes to speak. Okay, maximize your 2 minutes. And then speaking number three is related to speaking number two, but the topic is broader and more serious. They relate speaking to science, to society, to culture. That's how they do it.
Oh,
So
okay. Like maybe they like speaking tree like compound sentence form speaking number
yes,
two.
yes.
Okay.
Because speaking number two is just more on your experiences, right?
Yeah.
More on your experiences. However, speaking number three, for example, in your experiences, you talk about childhood.
Yeah.
Speaking two, you talk about your childhood. In
Yeah.
speaking three, they will talk about like, do you think parents should be able? Do you think it's okay for parents to hit their child as a form of discipline? Something like that, right? Because when we were young, parents would hit us if we're very naughty. So this time, they'll be asking more on your opinion. They'll be asking something about the same topic like childhood, but more on the society, focusing on the society.
Okay.
What? Yeah, broader topic. Because
Uh,
speaking to is just you, your experience.
okay, teacher.
Speaking three is now go out, bigger topic, bigger scope. That's for your speaking three. So yeah, that's and they can ask you like 3 to 5 questions or 3 to 6 questions in speaking three.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you have don't worry, the questions are connected to each other in speaking three. However, in speaking two, your challenge in speaking two because you're speaking for 2 minutes. So you have to make sure you don't speak too short and you don't speak too long because you're given 2 minutes
Yeah.
only. Okay? No, you're only given one question for speaking to, but you have to speak for 2 minutes. Right? Not unlike the speaking 1 and 3, they ask you the question. And you answer, question, answer, question, answer. Speaking 2 is different. One question, you answer. 2 minutes. Okay? So I will I'll choose first among Chloe, Steffi, and Bayu. So you can hear Tam needs to see and hear how you do it so she can have an idea. So let me call Chloe. Can we do the Chloe? Everyone will do speaking 1, 2, and 3 today. Okay? So you cannot see the questions, okay? Tam, you can only see the question in speaking 2. But speaking 1 and 3, you cannot see the question. Only speaking 2. Okay?
I remember that when I been to the face-to-face class, the same speaking and like
Yes.
the same speaking 1, speaking 2, like they give you
Same.
like topics the same, right?
The same.
Okay.
Yeah. Almost the same. Okay, so let me have Chloe first. Chloe will do it here so they can see. And this is bonus for the others. You can have an idea on what to answer. But let me have first. Okay. Chloe, are you ready? We'll start from the beginning. Okay. Chloe?
Yes, so
Okay. So may I know your complete name, please?
my name is Wang Kilai, but I prefer to be called Chloe.
And may I know where are you from?
I'm from Taiwan, and my hometown is in Hsinchu, the Judong town. It's a lovely town.
But currently, now that you are in Australia, in what city do you live in?
Currently, I live in Springville in Victoria State.
Are you
And,
living with your... okay, continue, Chloe.
it's like a district section for many Vietnamese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you currently living with your family or are you living alone?
All my families are in Taiwan, but I live with my partner and roommate.
Okay. So let's talk about a little bit about health, how you value your health. So what do you do to keep yourself healthy, Chloe?
Generally, I drink as much as I can the water, and eating a lot of like green, leafy green vegetables, and almost do like 3 times a week exercise if I have time, and I think that's it.
Okay. So whenever you get sick, or maybe you probably have experience really getting sick, do you prefer home remedies or do you like going right away to the hospital for a checkup?
When I'm in Taiwan, there are lots of clinic, so we can do the checkup or the examination whenever we want. So in Taiwan, when I was in Taiwan, I will always go to the doctor to check up my body if I feeling unwell. But in Australia, because it's expensive for the medication here, so I will probably like more vitamins or eating healthier to keep my body good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And do you still remember when was the last time you got sick?
Uh, it's like the last April I got COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and it's quite serious because I cannot like get out of the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and serious sore throat
Mm-hmm.
and headache, and eventually I just passed to my partner because we
Okay.
live in the same room. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Chloe. So this time you'll have your speaking to, and I'll be sharing with you your cue card. Okay, I'll show you the card. Okay, let me share my screen. This is now your question for speaking part to Chloe. So I'll give you a minute to prepare for your answer. Okay. So Tam, I am giving Chloe 1 minute to prepare her answer. She can see the question. The questions here, Tam, are only your guide questions. These are just guide questions on what you have to say. Okay, these are only guide questions. This is your main question. Okay, so it's okay to just focus here, or if you want more idea, these questions can help you. Okay, some people just focus here. So, okay, Chloe.
Oh,
Mhm. You
okay.
still have mhm. You still have few seconds. You're ready?
I guess so.
Okay.
Um, I am not sure is there any law related to health in my country, but when I worked in the hospital, there's uh, a, a strict law about the euthanasia because we don't do that in Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, the doctor will say the patient really do their best,
Mm-hmm.
and the patient's family will like um hope the
Mm-hmm.
doctor will save the patient
The patient. Mm-hmm.
like completely, do the resuscitation, do the drugs, and many things.
Mm-hmm.
And according to the edge care is like quite common in Taiwan because there are many elderly in Taiwan,
Mm-hmm.
and we generally they all hire the health carer
Mm-hmm.
to help them to care the elderly in home or in the facility.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else?
Because the law, so we don't do harm to the patient, so we must save the patient to like to the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah.
Okay. So that's it. Thank you, Chloe. Observe the question stamp. Okay. And try to learn this. Right? This one is under the last question. So, and let's go, Chloe, let's have your speaking number 3. Oh, I didn't write here, but it's fine. Your speaking number 3 would be, let me choose a question for you, Chloe. It's still about healthcare and related to your speaking to. So since you said that there is a law in your country focusing on not providing harm as much as possible to any patient and providing all the health care the patient can have until the end. For you, what do you think should be the priority of what should be the priority of your government when it comes to providing proper health care? Just for you.
For my condition, like if I ill,
Yeah, generally, yes. It can be for you or for anyone. What do you think should the government prioritize when it comes to providing proper health care?
I think it's like a financial issue if
Mm.
because
Mm.
dying is an expensive. So when we need like medications
Mhm.
or the medicines, we need like lots of money to do that. So if government can like support some low income families for
Very good.
the healthcare, it should it would beneficial for them.
Okay. And in some other countries, especially like America, they have a practice of what they call the Samaritan law. What is your idea about the Samaritan law? The Good Samaritan law, rather. What do you think is it about? The Good Samaritan law.
I
You
don't
familiar?
know what's the Samaritan
Good
law.
Samaritan law. Okay. So Good Samaritan law is a standard law that they have in America that everyone must give all the help they can give if someone is facing an emergency on the road, especially on the road, while you're doing your everyday routine, and suddenly there is an emergency. An American must not ignore a person who is having an emergency at the moment. If somebody saw that there was an emergency and you ignored that patient, they can, it's somehow punishable to their law if you don't provide any help. Because for sure, you can always provide help. It may not be a big help, but you can help. So that's the Good Samaritan law that they practice in America. So even if you're not a doctor, you're not a healthcare provider, but you have the skill to help, you must help that person because of that law that they have, the Good Samaritan law. So do you think, I'll just change the question, do you think the Good Samaritan law is an effective way to provide good health care?
Yeah, definitely. Because when the emergency situation comes, people's instincts just to save the people, just like in Taiwan. Yeah, and there's lots of examples in Taiwan when I saw, because there some people like collapse on the road or like had a car accident. People will help like immediately. I'm not sure if there any law about this in Taiwan, but I think this kind of law is good for people because everyone should like be cared, be like, because in that emergency condition situation, it's quite like it's urgent, so you must do it quickly when it happens. Yeah.
Okay. And I just have one more question for you, Chloe. Briefly, can you compare the healthcare of your original country, Taiwan, to the healthcare of the one you have now there in Australia? Just briefly.
You mean the healthcare?
Healthcare, yeah. Just compare shortly the healthcare provided by Australia to their people and the healthcare provided by Taiwan to their people. Just compare briefly, short only.
Yep. In Taiwan, there's a good health insurance for everyone. But there are insurance in Australia too as well, but you have to be like a citizen to get the welfare. So if I'm a citizen here, I will be beneficial for the health insurance or the welfare. But right now, I didn't use it because I have my private insurance for now. Yeah, but in Taiwan, the health insurance is really like helpful for everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Chloe, for your answer. So that ends your speaking test for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it. Tam, you can see the pattern. You can see the pattern, right? You heard the pattern on how she answered. That's usually how the flow of and the level of difficulty of the speaking test goes. Easy, and then a little bit just middle because it's about you. So you should be able to say more information and details in speaking number 2. But you also have to be very careful because, right, Chloe, speaking number 2, you can have so many ideas because it's your experience. The thing is, you only have 2 minutes. So you have to organize everything you have to organize. And if you heard, there are some good vocabulary words and expressions that Chloe used when she was answering. You have to learn to put good vocabulary words and phrasal verbs or other useful phrases to put. Don't just stick to very simple words always. At least level up. Increase your vocabulary. Same goes with your phrases, if you know. Okay? And Chloe had some minor mistakes in the grammar, but for example, like instead of saying like as much as possible about the water, but Chloe could have just said as much as possible I drink enough amount of water every day. And she was able to change the position of the structure there. So somehow, Chloe, it gives a different meaning. So if there's a chance for you to use the simpler version, the active version, or it's your choice if you wanted to use the, passive version of the sentence is more focused on the action. Active version of the sentence is more focused on the person. Okay, so you have a choice. Do you want to emphasize the action or do you want to emphasize yourself? Which one? So if you want to emphasize you or yourself, you do the active. Subject, verb, object. But if you want to emphasize the action, you should be able to construct a sentence focusing on the action. That's your passive voice. That's where grammar goes. Okay? But you can always use both. You can always choose. Okay? But you have to make sure you need to highlight the best answer you can give to the question, especially number 2. Speaking number 2. Because you have the freedom to answer, right? The thing is, Tam, 2 minutes only. Okay? So after 2 minutes, the next speaking will come out. The next question will come. Speaking 3. But wait, you cannot say I'm not finished. No, it continues. The interviewer will just interrupt you just to remind you that 2 minutes is over. I will ask you the next question. Yeah, that's the thing. So you have to be conscious with your answer. The 2 minutes, okay? And for the third one, Chloe gave really good answers, especially for number one. She said, prioritize the finances, right? Because how can the healthcare function if they're not supported with proper funds, right? You need money. Of course, for medication needs money, equipments need money, right? To hire more people to work in the hospital, you need to pay them well so they can continue working, right? So good support there, Chloe. Again, just minor mistakes in some sentences. And the Good Samaritan law. I put I asked Chloe the Good Samaritan law without any follow-up question, right? I wanted to know if Chloe has an idea about that law. Now, Chloe was honest there that she had no idea about it, so she asked me, right? You can do that during the interview. If you really don't know, don't pretend that you know. You can ask. If you're not familiar with it, you can tell the interviewer, I have heard about it, but I am not so particular with it. So, and then suddenly the interviewer would speak. It's about this, like this, and then ask you the question. So don't pretend you understand. If you don't really understand, ask the interviewer to repeat. Okay, but don't keep on asking the interviewer to repeat most of the time. Okay, if you don't know, you can ask or tell properly that you have no idea about it, or ask to give you just a short idea about it. It's possible. It's okay. Don't worry, it will not affect your score. It will affect more if you answered, but your answer is not correct, right? So,
But teacher,
uh-huh.
like the topic the same
Mhm.
when you show me for exam or not? The same topic or not?
Sometimes for the speaking exam next week, sometimes they give the topics you have during the class. So for sure you have many topics during the class, right? So they
Yeah.
will get same topics there, but you will not know what topic. But they will get from the list. And because our class is recorded, so
Yeah.
it means they know the topic you are talking about in the class. So they can get any topic we have discussed and practiced, but they will not tell you what topic it is. Because
Okay.
if you do, you will prepare. So we cannot gauge your skill during that time, right? So the best thing you can do is learn how to answer using the flow of the question. There's a flow, right? You notice Chloe's answer, right? So if you are going on to the speaking number 3, that's why sometimes it takes few seconds before the student answer because the question in speaking 3 is harder. It's harder. It's more on society, more on culture, but just connected to speaking 2. Because speaking 2 is your experience, so it's easier. The challenge only is your time. But speaking 3 includes your knowledge, your background about the topic. So, but don't worry, they won't give you very serious topics, as in serious and too heavy topics, because they only wanted to test your speaking. They test your fluency, they test your pronunciation, they test how organized are you in giving your answer. They test that. And your choice of words, including your grammar. So if you're using a vocabulary word and you want a harder vocabulary word to use, make sure you know how to use it. Because if you use a hard word and you did not use properly, you're still wrong, right? So it's better to use simple word, but it's correct, rather than use a harder word, but you use incorrectly. Yeah, because they listen there very well. They listen very well. For example, Chloe mentioned, um, I am beneficial to that. It can be I benefit from that. I can benefit from that. Or I can be a benefactor from that law. That one is okay. But not the word beneficial. Beneficial is beneficial is more on like an adjective. But she wanted to say a noun in her sentence. But she said beneficial. I benefit from that. I can benefit from that. I can be a benefactor of that law. But not beneficial. But her idea is very clear. It benefits her. So be careful. Okay? She knows the meaning. However, she chose a different function of the word benefit. Be careful. Because some interviewers are very keen, very strict to the words we use. So that part. But generally, Chloe was able to answer all the questions properly. There was just minor grammar errors and minor lapses in organization, just a little bit. And overall, she was able to answer the question. So that's the flow. So you must be able to read and understand the question as much as possible, as quickly as you can. Because questions are being said to you. You have to listen, right? Speaking number 2, they will not ask you the question. You will read the question. So you have to understand the question. If you do not understand the question, you can ask. Okay? And question number 3, they will ask you the question again. So speaking 1 and 3, be very quick in listening, understanding, and answering. Combination. You have the benefit in speaking number 2 because you have 1 minute to prepare. But speaking 1 and 3, you don't have any minutes to prepare. When they start speaking, you speak. That's it. Okay? So Tam, that's something you have to practice. Don't worry about the topics they will give you. What you need to practice is the skill on how you answer. Because they practice every time. Listening is again, reading again, again, speaking again, similar topics. So it's okay for you because this will be your first time to do that. Okay? So I will have one more again. Let me have Bayu. Thank you, Chloe. Let me have
Yep.
Bayu. Okay. Bayu, you're ready for your speaking?
Yep.
Okay. Let's have your speaking one. This time, may I know first your full name, please?
Yes. My name is Bayu Mahardika. The people call me is Bayu.
Okay. And where are you from originally, Bayu?
Yep. I'm come from Indonesia.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And currently now in Australia, in what city do you stay?
I live in Springfield.
Oh, Springfield. Okay. So this time, let's talk about your health. So what do you usually do to maintain or keep your body healthy?
I actually I do a lot of things to maintain my health, maintain my diet, get enough sleep, drink a lot of water, and do a lot of exercise. Actually, I'll also consume herbal medicine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that okay. I make myself, namely from ginger, and I usually ginger, and I usually drink it before going to the bed at the night. This good. Really makes my body feel healthy.
Okay, thank you, Bayu. So, when you get sick, do you prefer having home remedies, or do you like visiting the doctor right away when you don't feel well?
Yes, actually, if I sick, I like to just take rest at home.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And do you still remember the last time you got sick?
I'm not sure, but I think I was got sick uh, 2 months ago. Yeah, but it's not really bad, but I just maybe and I got flu and headache and what's it called, fever.
Fever.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you there, Bayu. This time let's go to your speaking number 2. And I'll share with you your cue card now. Okay, let me share my share screen. Okay, here's your question for speaking number 2. Try your best not to forget answering the last question. That one extends your answer.
Yes.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay, you can speak.
I have here about this law, but I strongly disagree with this law because yeah, and many people in my country do not agree with this law. And why do I disagree? Because for me is life is temporary. Try to think positively and do the best for your future life. And in my opinion, this case is very illegal in my country. Yeah.
Okay, Bayu, what law is that?
Yeah, sorry. The euthanasia.
Euthanasia.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Euthanasia. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't agree with euthanasia?
Yeah, I strongly don't agree with the euthanasia.
Okay. So thank you. That's it, Bayu?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. So this time, let's go to speaking number 3. So it's still related to your speaking number 2. So for you, what do you think should your government prioritize when it comes to providing proper health care?
Yeah. In my country, the government is there give like for the insurance, like a card for the healthcare. Yeah. But the people must get it, but yeah, we need to pay like a year. How much a year? Because it's not free. Because the hospital and some pharmacy, they have worker. And the government must pay. That's the money from the people make for the insurance pay insurance. Yeah. And yeah, we are easy when we got sick. Because the insurance is cover for the payment. Okay. If we have for the card healthcare, we call that like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you there, Bayu. And for your next question, are you familiar with the Good Samaritan law? Have you heard about it before?
Sorry, could you read?
Good Samaritan law. America has a Good Samaritan law. Have you heard about it before?
Sorry, I never heard that.
Never heard about it.
Yep.
Okay. A Good Samaritan law is a law that they have in America that says anyone who experienced any emergency, especially on the road, and anyone who would see that a person needs help during an emergency must help. You must help. You must not ignore the person. Do your best on what you can give to help that person who is having emergency. If you don't do that, it's sometimes punishable by the law. So if you think somebody got an emergency or somebody had a problem while he was on the road and you happen to pass by and see the event, then you must help that person.
Oh, yes, exactly.
I think you're familiar with it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
do you think this kind of health care law is effective?
Yeah, this is effective.
Okay, why?
Because we care about the people. Even we have some people like emergency. And nobody helped them, and like yeah, we just help them to maybe drop off to the hospital and help them. Yeah, because for example, I have a car in my house, and then my neighbor they got sick, and then their family don't have transport to go to the hospital. So I have to help them to drop off them to go to the hospital.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you there, Bayu. And I have one more question for you. This is the last one. Just briefly or shortly, can you compare the healthcare provided by your country and Australia? Shortly.
Actually, in my country, in Australia, with Australia, it's not much different. They very effective with the healthcare. Yep. It's not much different. They very care about that.
Okay. That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you there, Bayu. So that ends your speaking test for today. So, Cam, that's the second example. Bayu's type of answering the question. So, same flow. He had the same flow. Honestly, Bayu, you improved a lot compared to the first few times. The first few speaking, you speak better now than the last few practices. So you just have to practice some more your fluency, Bayu. Your fluency and your spontaneity. It means how spontaneous, how continuous do you give your ideas. But very good, you improve a lot in your vocabulary. And you improve a lot with your organization. Just practice some more on how to extend your answer. You know what I mean, right? Details. Some more details, okay? Some more details. Okay, but it's a lot better than before. Okay, so for now, let's have your 5 minutes break first, and then we will continue with the speaking later. Okay? Have your 5 minutes break.
Thanks.
Steffi and Chloe, how's your weather in your place?
Cold,
16,
sunny.
Cool and sunny. How about
16, 15 degrees now. Cloudy.
good weather? You really have good weather. Me too. I
Really?
think I have 33 today. So I'm happy.
I prefer the
33.
hotter weather.
Actually, I don't know why is it 33, but it's very cloudy. It's cloudy outside. But
I forgot to ask you about your
uh-huh.
husband. Is he well?
Again, is he what?
Is he well from the beach?
Yes. Actually, you know, I envied him when I saw all the pictures there that he sent me. The place was very beautiful. It's like a lost paradise. There's the water, there's the sea, and then at the back there's a lighthouse and a lagoon. Are you familiar with the
Lagoon.
lagoon? Lagoon is like a lake but smaller.
Uh,
Yeah.
small lake.
And there's a waterfall. It's like there's a waterfall, there's a river and a lagoon, and then at the front there's the sea.
Oh,
Then
that's
and there's
nice.
a lighthouse. And there's a lighthouse. I said, "Whoa,
You should go there.
I told him he must bring me there." 'Cause
Yeah, you should go there.
I love taking pictures. I love taking pictures of nature. I don't like being part in the picture. I really don't like taking picture of myself. So I like taking pictures of my friends, but I don't really enjoy being in the picture. But I like taking pictures. So
So you
I
never been there?
never. I didn't even know that place exists in that area. I only know
Is
there
that
are
famous
beaches.
in Philippines?
The area is famous. Uh the province is really famous, but all I know is it's near the coastline, so only beaches. But I did not expect
That
that.
beautiful.
Wow, how can that be? Like the waterfall and the river is just a walk away from the sea. Like that near. You're at the back, you have the waterfall, the river and the lagoon and the lighthouse, and you walk in front, there's the beach. So you got a taste of everything you can enjoy for a vacation. He even said there is like a hanging bridge and a hiking area, I think, a camping area. So you get everything in the
So
venue.
you can go that camping next time.
I really hope. But maybe it will be next year in summer. I worry during this month because it's rainy season, right? There's waterfall, there's river and the sea, so they might suddenly change their
The
their
tides.
mood. Yes, the tides and the mood of the waterfall, the current of the river. So it's a little bit dangerous too
Hmm.
because they only have like nipa huts, like traditional, very traditional houses in the middle. So if the water rises, that one might
You mean
probably
the
fill the area
you mean the house
in
that's
the
on
middle.
in the middle of the lake?
Like, okay, here is the sea. Here is the waterfall and the lighthouse, right? And they have
Mm.
areas here for the hanging bridge and the cottages here. So you get good view of everything.
So it's like house on the sea
Yeah, something like that near the sea.
near the sea.
Cottages.
Mhm.
Cottages. So the problem is if the water in the sea gets higher, the tide gets higher, in the waterfall, if you know the current of the river and the strength of the waterfall increases during the rainy season, it happens very often. So it might reach that area.
Mm.
So, but fortunately, they had a good weather that time. So he was able to take really good pictures. Yeah. But he said there's heavy traffic jam way back home because that's when it rained heavily. going back home. So they traveled for 6 hours, maybe, going back home. Going there was 3 hours only. Going home, six.
So
Very long.
3 hours there, 3 hours there, and
Going and
then
then 6 hours home. Yeah,
stay there for 3 hours, and
three
then going
hours
back home.
back.
12
Imagine.
hours a day.
Yes. So anyway, I don't mind what he does when he's on outing. How he enjoys. I don't mind. Just go home safely. So I saw the area. So I told him, I want to see that. So yeah. But because he doesn't know the place very well, so he said he's not sure if he can remember the trip going to that area, the direction.
Just use
So
the navigation.
yeah, that's what I told him. Just use the navigation. We have Google Map, we have Waze. But I
Good.
think he's worried about the direction because there are different routes that they have to enter. Yeah, it's like a paradise, he said. It's like a hidden paradise when you go there. You don't really see it right away.
So there's no terrorist.
Very few tourists know the place.
So maybe
Even few Filipinos know that main place. We know the main province, but we don't know exactly that
the location.
the location. So it's hidden. So he said maybe that's the reason the place was preserved very well because they don't really tell everyone that location.
That's
So
good. They
yeah,
protect it. That's good.
yes, very nice. Very nice. But I saw high waves in the sea around late afternoon. So I said, how can you go swimming with the waves were high? So I think for those who can surf, it's a good chance to surf during that time. So, yeah. But
That's
anyway,
his favorite.
yeah, my husband can swim very well. So I think he enjoyed swimming. Yeah, a lot. Okay, so let's continue. By the way, where is there's Bai? Okay. Before we continue, I'll show you one law that we have in the Philippines. And this law was passed in 2018 by our president before, Duterte. He's one of the strictest president we had. And he decided to make it a law because after long research and talk with other politicians and other healthcare workers, they noticed that Philippines really had quite an alarming healthcare condition. I cannot say it's totally bad, but it's alarming, especially the government hospitals, the public hospitals, because they're funded by the government, right? So I'll show you a picture of that just to give you an idea about the law that we have. Can you see my picture? Oh, it's loading. Can you
Yes.
see? This is actually the situation that we have now. I think it's very slow.
Full
Yeah, it's very
capacity.
slow. Yes, but because this was during the COVID-19 cases. But even, even, even without the COVID, some public hospitals, government hospitals have this situation. So when I was having my duty as a student nurse in one hospital, I was very shocked, very as in shocked. The first time I saw that the hallway of the hospital was turned into like a room. There were 3 beds in the hallway. And the patients there were critically ill patients. It's not COVID season. That was years before COVID. I was a student.
So you mean that they just left them die there
No,
in the hall
they are actually having their treatment at the hallway
because
because
there
there were
is
no
no
enough
room for
rooms.
them?
Yes. But they were critically ill patients. So
Uh,
yeah, that's the situation.
same as in Taiwan, sometimes in the emergency room department,
Mhm.
this is full of patients, so they have to like stay in the hallway,
Mhm.
but
But
not like ill, like terminal ill patients.
there they were like critically ill patients because they had machines behind them, but they were in the hallway. And here,
You mean like a ventilator
oh,
in
I've
the
seen this so many times in many government hospitals that I visited. I had a training on. So situations are like this. You must make sure you're healthy before you took all your vitamins before
you
you get
entered it?
in. But fortunately, from my experience, I rarely got sick when I was working in the hospital. I got sick when I was working in the academy. So maybe the immunity was there, maybe. And this is a common situation, the one you're seeing now. It's a very
May
common
I
situation.
may I ask why? Because it's not enough hospitals or not enough staffs.
Um, it's not about not enough hospitals. It's, how can I say? It's probably how they manage and how they organize their hospitals. It's not that it, there are no enough hospitals. They lack the management and they lack the organization. These patients must not be like this if they are welcomed in an organized way, because they don't. Because, like what Bayu said during his answer, not everyone has the access to the insurance card for their health insurance rather. So some would go directly to the hospital, but some hospitals prioritizes those with the health insurance compared to those without the health insurance. Because I'm speaking from my experience, not for the experience of everyone, but from my experience, I've I've experienced it too in the private hospital and the government hospital. Most of my experience in the private hospital, how can I say? Some private hospitals do not accept if you don't have any down payment in the hospital. However, it occurs more in the government hospital. They will assess your child, right? The patient. And then they will ask you to pay like this. You must pay first before they give you the full treatment, even if it is an emergency.
We pay after in Taiwan.
Right? It should be after. It should be after. Or if you want during. But not right, not during the time that the patient is right
The
there.
the difficult like time to like charge you.
Yeah. And if you notice here, Philippines healthcare unaffordable. Yes. Yes. It's unaffordable. When I was having duty as a student nurse in the hospital, I had to buy medicine with my own money for the patient because they really don't have the money to buy even paracetamol and medicine for the stomach, but needed by the doctor. So if I think it's not that expensive and the parent is, they're really begging just to meet the need of the child, then okay, I'm the one who pays for that. Anyway, paracetamol is not so expensive and some over the counter medicine. So I'm fine with that. But the thing is, it's from my pocket. I was just a student nurse at the time. So very different.
Sorry to hear that.
It's really disheartening to hear it, but it is existing. So this new law that the former president signed, like it's a universal healthcare law that everyone must have access, whether you're poor or not. And they have a certain range for the card. For example, you belong to the poverty line, but you have a job. So they will only ask, there is a certain range good for your status, affordable for you. So your family can have that health insurance because most hospitals here prioritizes those with health insurance. So what if you don't have, right? What if I don't? This ends like this. Mm. So that's the bias in our healthcare before. So the universal healthcare somehow now it's new, but somehow it is helping a lot. Although it's not yet as effective as what the government is expecting, but somehow it is functioning. So, but I think it's still a long process to do that. But it will be very helpful if everybody will have an access to healthcare easily, easily. At least even during emergencies only, because others can be done by home remedy, right? You can heal yourself at home. But at least for emergencies, they won't be under risk for a long time. This universal healthcare card would help you a lot with it. So hopefully it will function very well this time because there's already the pandemic, right? So I think some people benefited from that. Yeah, some did. So this is one law that I really appreciate with our former president because it is still practiced up to this time. And hopefully it will become more functional and more effective during all the years that would pass, whether there's pandemic or no pandemic. Hopefully it would work very well. Yeah, this is our situation. This is real, okay? Until now, it's happening. So that's just one law. It's they call it like UHC Act, Republic Act. I forgot the number. Republic Act 11223. UHC law. That's what they call it. Universal Healthcare Law. Okay. So this time, I gave you an idea of what the law could be, but it depends on your country. So this time, let me have Steffi. Steffi, you're next. You ready? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So Steffi, can I have your complete name, please?
My name is Xu Peijun. My family, my friends, coworker, they call me Steffi.
And where are you from?
I'm from Taiwan, and I was born in south of Taiwan. It's called Pingdong. It's a rural county in south of Taiwan.
Okay. Now that you're in Australia, so in what city do you live in?
I live in east coast, east of Australia, and it's a city called Coast Harbour.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been staying in Australia?
I have been in Australia for years, and since 2019, I start from a working holiday and student visa, and now I am in postgraduate visa holder now.
Okay, so let's talk about your health. So what do you do to keep yourself healthy or maintain good health?
I am very restrict my dietary. I don't eat, try to not to eat processed sugar. Just eat, maybe if I have to take a sugar, I probably choose honey and or coconut sugar. And I do exercise Yeah, or I do a lot of exercise, work out, surfing, and I don't drink beverages, and I don't really take a lot of supplements, but vitamin D, vitamin C, I receive from like lemon, natural fruit, and I definitely get the sunshine every day to receive the natural vitamin D. Yeah, that's why I get healthy. Yeah.
Okay. And whenever you get sick, or even just a simple flu or a simple illness, do you prefer home remedies or do you go right away to the hospital and see a doctor?
Actually, in Taiwan, because we have the best medical system in the world. So in Taiwan, if I was sick, I normally go to the clinic straight away to see the doctor, get the prescription, get the medicine, because it was very convenient. But since I'm in Australia, I realized the medical system in Australia not convenient as in Taiwan. So basically, I don't really take any pill or medicine. If I get sick, I just try to drink more water, have more rest, and do some exercise, try to recover by my own immunity system.
Okay. So, and do you still remember when was the last time you really got sick?
The last time I really got sick was a couple months ago. I had the flu, but I just had like 1 day, 10 days, and like a couple days lightly cough, and I healed by myself, and I didn't take any medicine.
Any medicine. Okay. So thank you there. So this time, let's go to your speaking part 2. I'll show you your cue card, and you have a minute to prepare. Here's your cue card. Okay. Okay?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Can start.
So, we in Taiwan, we had a rule about every citizen had to join medical care. It's like a medical insurance. It's like a medical care in Australia. And if you are a citizen, you have to pay the fee every month. It's not much. It's probably 500 new Taiwan dollars. It's not much actually compared to other countries, but every citizen have to pay and have to register, and make sure you have the best medical care. And basically, if you have the medical insurance, you can any illness, you can go to see the doctor, pay very low register fee, like 100 new Taiwan dollar, and then you can see the doctor, and doctor will prescribe you medicine. And yeah, so it's very convenient and very not expensive. The comprehensive, the whole country everyone can have the best medical care. Even you have cancer, cancer in other countries is very severe illness, a disease.
Yes.
And even you have cancer, you don't have to pay very, very expensive fee. You probably need to pay a little bit, but you won't have a very heavy financial stress. Yeah, so I think it's, and I do agree this medical insurance because as we know, we can see a lot of countries are struggling, and especially when pandemic happen, a lot of people, they can't get the medicine or any treatment because they don't have the money. Yeah, this kind of thing. So I do agree we have to make sure medical insurance for every citizen.
Okay, that's it. Then let's now go, thank you for your speaking two. Let's now go to speaking part 3. So it's still related to speaking two. So far, what do you think should the government prioritize when it comes to providing proper health care?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Okay, what do you think should the government prioritize when it comes to providing proper health care?
I think the government should prioritize is older people and the younger age people because they are fragile for their age. They're easy to get sick, because their immune system is weak. So they need medical support to make sure their immune system are stronger. So I think the government should prioritize this type of group. Yes.
Okay. So this time, have you heard about the Good Samaritan law? Have you heard about it? The Good Samaritan law.
It's in America, you just mentioned before?
Yeah, the Good Samaritan law. It's something that if there is an emergency occurring around you or maybe right in front of you while you're on the road or on the street, you must help that person to the best that you can. Even if you're not a medical practitioner, at least do something to help that person. So do you think that Good Samaritan law is an effective way of providing healthcare?
Yes, I agree the law. Oh no, sorry. I don't really agree the law. I can understand why Americans, they want to make this law because the people now are very passive. They are lazy to react what they see. I can understand why they want to create, they want to make this law, but I don't think this could be the law because it's like a human being. Ethics should be a natural human being. It's not someone force you to you do this. Like someone force you to, oh, you have to help people, otherwise you are guilty. I think it's just not nature. And you can, everyone should help other people, that's for sure. But it's from our nature human being. It's not like someone had to force you to do it. It's my opinion, my perspective. Yeah.
Okay, then thank you there. And for the last question for you, Steffi, can you briefly compare the healthcare you have in Taiwan and the healthcare that you have there in Australia?
Compare Taiwan and Australia medical system. I have to
briefly.
Healthcare, and it is totally different. I can see, and from the medical system, how they process the medical system, and to the aged care. I have to say that Australia aged care is better than Taiwan, but I think because they have the bigger land, so they can build up a better aged care to make look after every older people. In Taiwan, we have the better medical system just because we have very good high technology or very good doctors, physicians. And I think it's different part. Yes, I think it's different part.
Okay, so thank you there, Steffi. And that ends your speaking test for today. Okay. Okay. Tam sent a message. Okay, Tam. She doesn't want to interrupt Steffi's answer. She sent it to the message. Tam will just go to the toilet. Okay. Thank you, Steffi. So it's her turn.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Steffi, with your answers, I think just be careful with some choice of words that you have. Just very, very few, very few. I think you already know what those words are. And your transition words. Although it's a lot better now because you're able to use transition words properly and appropriately. But at some point, it's still missing. So some ideas got connected with the other, but it must not be connected there. It's another idea. So just add some more with, or maybe be cautious some more with your transition words that you need to use. So far, that's all from your answer. Because you were able to answer more accurately this time. Same with Chloe, actually, and Bayu, compared to the first few practices. So yeah, the speaking, when you're having your speaking test, although we have a pattern, right? There's a pattern we follow. Just understand the basic pattern you have to use, and you can always be very, you can always have your own way of giving your answer. You can always have it. Just keep in mind the pattern that they wanted to ask from you. But your choice of words, your sentence structure, your how you want your answer to appear or be heard by the listener will depend on you now. Just make sure there is organization when you are speaking. That's it. But so far it's all your answers are more organized. They are clearer, although somehow lacks details to support your point. And just the choice of words that you need to practice. That's all. Unlike before, because before you need more vocabulary, you need more organization with your answer. And what else? The grammar structure as well. This time it's getting lesser and lesser. So I think you're able to adjust with the answer, the way you should answer. Just practice some more with vocabulary and your expressions, the phrasal verbs that you need. Yeah, where's Tam? Tam? Oh, she's not yet back. Let's wait for Tam. What happened to Tam?
She's on toilet.
Yeah, it's her turn. Okay.
Natural calling.
Yeah. In Philippines, I really hope we can have similar ones that you have in Taiwan. Very accessible.
Do you think have the enough data? You have enough data in Philippines?
Yes, actually, we have really very good, this is the truth now. We have really very good doctors, very good nurses and other healthcare practitioners in the Philippines. But majority of them are going abroad. They are going and practicing their profession in another country.
Because the system in Philippines is not good enough, right?
Same goes with teachers. There are many good Filipino teachers that are going abroad than staying here. Aside from the condition is not good. The the salary, the income, especially for the nurses and the other assistants of the doctor. So that's one thing, honestly, most of my friends tell me, and they would really compare like it's more ideal to work in a hospital abroad because there is an ideal number of patients to the nurse. In my case, I experienced I'm the only one in that, I think in that area, and I had like 25 patients. I was a student nurse at the time. I'm the one there. The ratio is 1:25 because that's a government hospital. I'm
You
the
mean
only one
like
taking
in the
one
day
nurse.
shift?
Yeah, one nurse, 25. I
How
was at the night shift. One nurse, 25 patient. Yeah, I clearly remembered.
only two nurses
No,
in
just me.
just you?
I'm the one assigned to 25 patients. The other
Uh,
nurses in other some nurses even have 31 or 30 patients.
in the
One
same
nurse
ward?
in the uh, other ward.
Uh,
It depends on the ward where you are assigned because it's a government hospital, so there are really many patients, but the ratio of the nurses to the patients are very small. So, yeah, one out of yeah, I remembered.
But you once you said that you were emergency nurse and
Mm-mm,
in the intensive unit.
mm-mm.
So even you in the intensive unit, you
Ah,
care like 25?
no. The 25 patients in the ward section. But of course, for the patients with ICU, that one is in another department. So, and if you're taking care of very critically ill patients, there must be a good ratio, right, between the nurse and the number of patients. But in
Yeah.
the ward area or recovery
Mhm.
room area, yeah, because it's mixed. Yeah, the 25 patients that I had was mixed. Some came from the ICU, so they're in the recovery stage. The
Mm.
others were just there because they had dengue. The others had surgery and they're trying to recover. The others were under medication. The others were under mixed. 25 patients mixed. So they all have different concern, different kind of care that I need to give, and I'm only one there.
So multitask at the same time.
Yes, after one day, just a day there, but we had a duty for 1 week, I think. Yeah, 1 week in that area. And just the first day, I was very shocked. I came home not talking to anyone at home. And my mom already told me to have dinner, but I wasn't saying anything. And I wasn't responding to my mom. I was just sitting at the living room near the fan. Nothing. Maybe I was very overwhelmed
So were
with
you
every
a new nurse at that time?
student nurse. I was still a
Student.
student nurse.
But
I
the
was,
student nurse is only as is like
yes,
assisting.
that's it. That's what I mean. That's
But
what
you
I actually I am like assisting a nurse working there. But the nurse there left me. She just come and are you okay? Come again and then are you okay? Like this. And she's letting me do everything.
Do you think it's because the personality that she didn't have that much care, that much responsibility,
Or or maybe
or
she's
just the
also
medical system?
maybe she's just testing me because she knew I'm a student nurse. And she
good to
wanted to
you.
show
I
me
guess.
the reality when you're working in the government hospital. Maybe. Because I was very shocked. Why did they give me 25? And I was expecting the main nurse who would be working with me would always be there with me, but not. So I was overwhelmed for the first time, not saying anything.
And helpless.
Yes, I felt that, the helplessness. I wanted to help the 25 patients, but I don't have enough money because I'm on a budget. So I cannot give all the medicine to those who don't have the money to buy. So I felt very I felt very guilty. I felt very
Frustrating.
exhausted, very frustrated, everything. And I didn't notice that I slept at the living room. Fortunately, the next day was my break time. I don't have any class the next day. Oh, I said, "Oh my goodness. This is something in Philippine healthcare." So
That's
I
why you
really
don't want to
admire.
be a nurse.
Maybe. Yeah. No, I really don't. I just don't like to be a nurse. I really don't like it. Not because of the situation, but I really don't like to be
Why
a
you
nurse.
study? Why you study
Because
nurse?
it was very in demand during my generation, my time. My time in college was the first time nursing became very in demand to all countries around the world. So most parents, most people who had their nephews and niece studying nursing, and bring them to America, bring them to Europe. You know what I mean? Because they get more money there. That's
Mm.
the thinking. So I belong to that group. but but I didn't belong to those who went there. So anyway, thank you for sharing that point, Chloe. Tam is here. Tam, are you ready? Let's see, Tam.
No.
What no? You have to. What no? Ready, Tam. You must be ready. Okay. Just listen to my question and just answer. Okay? As comfortably as you can. So, okay, Tam, may I know your full name, please?
My name is Konkanop Jang Noi. You can call me Tam. Tam.
And Tam. So, Tam, where are you from?
I'm from Thailand.
And now that you are living in Australia, in what city do you stay?
Now I live in Walindai, North Walindai.
And okay. So thank you there, Tam. How long
No,
have you
teacher.
been staying in Australia? Okay. How long have
Uh,
you been staying in Australia?
I has been in Australia 1 year, 3 months.
For 1 year and 3 months. Okay. So this time, let's talk about your health, Tam.
Yes.
So what do you do to keep yourself healthy?
Uh, in my life, I always like in the morning I got like healthy food or in the morning every morning, and before I running and exercise some exercise twice a week on weekend. And I always look up my health a lot, drink a water, eat something like healthy food all the time.
Okay. So, hold on. Okay. So whenever you get sick, do you prefer home remedies or do you like to go to the doctor right away when you're sick?
When I'm sick, when I'm live in Thailand, I have a good insurance from my company. And I always gonna go. I always went to the hospital for check up, like private hospital. And when I'm live in Australia, it's very hard to got a good insurance. I always like look after by myself. Yeah, and take a medicine by myself as well. Yeah, even got sick.
Okay. So do you still remember when was the last time you got sick?
A big sick, like
just
a small thing.
something like it can be a serious one or not. Just when was the last time you got sick?
The last year on June, I got COVID at here, and it's very hard for me because I don't know. I can't buy a medication here by myself, and I went to the chemist warehouse, and it's so terrible for me. And I have like paracetamol by myself. I brought from Thailand. Just this and just like try to look up by myself. It's so terrible here. I'm so throat, cold, egg, and warm meat as well. Yes.
Okay. So thank you there, Tam. Let's go now to your speaking part 2. So I will share with you your cue card. Okay. You have 1 minute to prepare for your answer. Okay. I'll share with you now. Okay. Here it is. Okay. You have 1 minute to prepare.
Teacher. Sorry, can I ask?
Yep.
About Tunisia or just about
anything.
anything.
Any kind of health law that you have, that you know, that you have in your country. Okay, Tam?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You have 2 minutes to
regarding
speak.
the health law in Thailand is my concern as is Thailand too many poor people and they are can't to the good hospital or didn't have like good insurance if you don't have like if you live far away from the city or if you don't have a financial and if you are like poor people you can't get in like good quality for the hospital or medication. The รัฐบาล like Prime Minister didn't have like don't support money a lot for look after like older people or like population in Thailand and that's why this Thailand have a big problem like this and it's so very hard to maybe like เขาเรียกอะไรวะ
Do you know any, Tam, do you know any law that can help
yeah
that? Is there any health law that can help that? That can help that?
yeah
Mm.
oh,
It's fine if you don't know then the law name, it's okay. Just describe the law. Just describe
yeah
the law.
I understand a lot, but I can't to explain because it's some place in Thailand is still like possible, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, if you live
Okay.
far away, but in Thailand have too many parts. If you live far away, if you don't have a financial and or you can't get in a good quality in a hospital or medication. In Thailand, like politics can't support you a lot like this. Yeah, you don't
Okay, I
have to.
understand.
Yeah, and that's why some listen, the young people come to the city, forget find a good job because maybe if you can find like good company, the company give you like this for like insurance for healthy for health. Yeah. Yes.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So you mean you can get a good quality healthcare service if you
Yes.
actually live near the city or you're at the city compared to when you're living far from it. It's
Yes.
difficult
Yes.
to get the insurance.
It,
I see.
if you live far away, you have to have money a lot more to buy a good insurance for yourself.
Insurance. Right.
Yeah, because
Oh.
like a Panista don't support you, you know, don't support population too much like this in
Like
my country.
discrimination.
Yeah.
Same. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not equal to what the people in the city get and what the people from the far
Yeah.
places get. Very different.
Yes. That's
Okay.
why the young people like try to and it's compare about this. That's why like young people need to like graduate
I
study
see.
a lot in the
Study
city,
in the
forget a
city.
good job, forgive and
For
some
them
your
to,
life, you know.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
like
I see.
connecting together.
Okay. So thank
Yeah.
you there, Tam. And for speaking three, this is now the question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think should the government prioritize in healthcare?
No more like for healthcare in Thailand. You have to like if you even you are like working at the government or working at like a good company because maybe you can save money for when you retire. But when you retire, they don't give you money for support you. If you don't have a money support when you getting on. If you don't have a money saving by yourself.
Okay,
You know?
so it's finances.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. So thank you
Yeah.
there, Tam. And the other question I have for you is the Good Samaritan law. This is in America. Usually they have, if there is an emergency happening in front of you, you must help. You must help. Whether whether you work in the hospital or not, if there is an emergency, you need to help that person to the best that you can. Do you think this law is effective?
Can you explain me again,
Okay.
teacher?
So the Good Samaritan law is like this. If there is an emergency, for example, you're walking on the road, there is an emergency, somebody suddenly felt unconscious, or maybe the person fainted, and you suddenly saw the person fell. You must help that person because that's their law, the Good Samaritan law. If you don't do that, sometimes you get punished by the government. So do you think that law is effective or not?
I think effective.
Why?
If you see some people like need some help, like emergency, if for me, like my opinion, I need to help. This like like you just need to help some people if they like
if they need help,
die in your front of like this. And like
it's fine, Tam. Okay, you were able to give your point. You're able to give your point. What else?
But I did not know like the law another country. If I did or do something wrong, maybe I feel like guilty, you know, yeah, and maybe like collect for the rule of the country or not. But if for me, in my opinion, I need to help, yes. But if you know about this rule or law of the another country, maybe you not.
Okay, I got it. Thank you there, Tam. And last one, very briefly, shortly, can you compare your healthcare in Australia and the healthcare service in Thailand?
I compare about in my country still terrible for me, in my opinion, still terrible. And I compare about if I be a citizen in Australia, I think they like look after you is good more than in Thailand, because maybe they pay a tax for you some cost, some money like this. But in Thailand, the same, if you don't have financial, don't have a lot for saving, or then before I told you, I think you can't get to like hospital. Maybe you die at home like this. It's very hard.
I understand. Okay, so thank you there, Tam. Thank you there, Tam. That ends your speaking test. Okay, Tam. Now you feel it, right?
I'm so
that's
sad.
The pressure.
I didn't know today what do that.
That's the pressure that you get in the speaking test.
Yeah.
It's fine because this is you are still in that process of absorbing how to do the speaking test. So over time, as you get more practice in the speaking test, you will understand how are you going to organize. Because your answers are organized, Tam. The good thing with you is you have good listening skills and you have the confidence in answering. The thing that made you nervous is how are you going to say it? You have so many things to say. The thing is, you're managing everything in your mind, your grammar there, your organization there, and that's stopping you from saying what you wanted to say.
Yeah, exactly, teacher. I have problem
because when you give your answers are good. However, because it's a speaking test, you're graded with your grammar. You're graded with your pronunciation. You're graded with your vocabulary. So you have to consider that. Okay? But not bad for a first try because you were able to answer the questions. But there's still more to practice. Okay? Practice your basic grammar, sentence structure, and the vocabulary that you think can fit the topic. So that's something you have to practice, okay? Not bad, Tam. The nervousness is there. Steffi, you took the test. You still felt nervous, right? Even if you had a lot of practice already. You will still feel nervous. The nervousness is still there. So keep practicing yourself how to listen and how to read and organize your answers at the same time, Tam. At the same time. So next challenge would just be your vocabulary and then your grammar. Because you have the confidence in speaking. The thing is more to practice organizing. Okay? So that's all. Thank you so much, everyone, for trying and for waiting. Thank you so much, Tam. Next try. You can do better. Don't worry. Okay, thank you so much and have a good night.
Okay, see you. Thank you, teacher. Bye-bye.
Bye.